Okay, so hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, as you can tell by the title, it's going to be a more serious topic and something that I feel like I was supposed to share a while ago since my channel is a faith-based lifestyle channel. I feel like kind of weird that I never talked about this, but I think it's now the right time, now being a year and a half later, that everything has kind of settled in a way, but emotions are still there, and that is all surrounding the topic of my parents' divorce. And I'm not coming on here to get pity or to have people feel sorry for me, because I think a lot of that has healed in a way, but then sometimes I do have these emotions of being angry that are still there, and they still do come up, especially when family drama arises. So I'm not going to I'm not going to say anything that has to do with like my parents or the reasons why. I'm just going to say my perspective and my perspective on this topic. I think that this word divorce and this situation happens so much nowadays, and nobody talks about it. Everyone thinks that it is completely normal, when really it's not. It's like the splitting of a family unit. And we know, as Christians, we believe that God does not like divorce. He hates it. God created marriage. He intended it to be a good thing, to be sanctifying to the man and wife, to be joyous and like a good, wholesome, biblical thing that glorifies God, right? But marriage isn't easy, especially when one of the spouses or might not be Christians, or I feel like it's happening a lot nowadays because a lot of people, they don't believe in the Bible, even though God created marriage. So his way of how marriage is supposed to be, people tend to shun biblical foundations of marriage, and they want to do it their own way, and that usually ends up in divorce. And we know that divorce has just completely like skyrocketed. The rates of divorce are so high, and I think that just is Satan trying to ruin and destroy the family unit, because the family unit, that is where children are raised. Everyone, of course, wants a loving family, and children want loving parents, and if the family unit is completely destroyed, that is just what Satan wants. He wants society to be in complete chaos. He wants families destroyed. We know that he has come to kill, steal, and destroy, and that is just what he did with my family. And I remember growing up, all of my friends, basically all my friends, all of their parents got divorced. All of my close friends. And it was like one after one, all of them got divorced. It kind of happened like all the way from elementary to high school. Like all of my friends' parents were divorcing one after the other as years went on, which is crazy to think, and it's really sad, like all of the broken families. Yeah, I just didn't understand the weight of it when I was a child, and I thought almost that my parents were immune to it, that my parents had a good, strong love, and that they would never get divorced. And I was almost sort of proud of it. If you go back and you watch my old testimony video, I'm actually thinking about remaking that video, because I don't know, I feel kind of weird about that video, but in that video I say that my parents are still together, and I almost feel, when I say it, I'm almost sound sort of proud. So that's one of the reasons why I want to just put it on private, because of that reason. But I might leave it up for another week and then put it on private. I don't know when you're watching this video, but yeah. So I feel like this is going to be a very chatty video, so if you're willing to listen, that's great. Yeah, I'm going to share some Bible verses throughout, and just sort of my opinion and how I feel about this whole entire topic and my personal experience on it. You know, I think that the loss from my parents was much greater than my loss as being their child, and especially as an adult. Like, it's a lot different when you're an adult and then your parents divorce compared to when you're a child and your parents divorce. I think maybe when you're a child, you're kind of left out of the information, but then as an adult, I was like kind of told everything that was going on, and there was a lot of frustration, especially when your parents are both kind of complaining about each other to you. And another reason why I want to talk about this topic is because I feel deep in my heart that I need to be honest and real on my channel. You know, not everything in life is completely joyful, is completely happy, and that I have no problems whatsoever, because everyone faces challenges, and many people face this challenge of either their parents divorcing or them themselves in the predicament of getting a divorce, which is very sad. And God never intended it to be that way. Because of the fall of man, we have things like sickness, disease, divorce, people hurting each other, and just wounds after wounds of sin. I feel like sometimes those wounds in my heart are healing, and that I'm okay with how things are now. But then if I start to talk about my siblings, or there's a disagreement with a family member, like, I feel like those emotions still kind of come forward. It's mostly more so the emotions of wanting certain people in my family, like my nuclear family growing up, to be saved and to truly, really have a relationship with Jesus. Or sometimes when I pray, I'm just in tears for them, like crying out to God, like, please, Lord, save them, unblind them. And I just want them to like receive you and know you, and just know the peace and the joy that Jesus can bring them, that the gospel is, and that we have life more abundantly in Jesus. So I'm going to share some Bible verses. We know that what Satan intends for evil, to kill, steal, and destroy, that God will turn to good to those who love him, because it says in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. I feel like I'm a little out of breath. But, okay, so Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he predestined, these he also called. Whom he called, these he also justified. And whom he justified, these he also glorified. Part I wanted to emphasize was, we know that all things work together for good to those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. So right now in my walk with Jesus, I feel like I'm in this waiting game, praying for people, for family members to come to Christ in complete submission to him. And you know, it is hard to see people that you love hurting, and to see them making the wrong decisions. And you know, you have the answer, and you're like, this is the answer, this is what's going to help you, you know. Jesus is the cure, the gospel is the cure. But then you feel like, in a way, they're shunning it, and then at the same time you feel like it's your fault. Maybe you're not explaining it the right way, maybe, or this is for me, maybe I feel like, you know, in a way I feel like I may not be explaining it the right way, I may not be praying hard enough, I may not be being bold enough about my faith, and it's just all these feelings, and it's almost like guilt, like, come on, I want you to be saved, and I'm crying out to God, but nothing's happening yet. And so I just feel like I'm in this season of waiting.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm almost done. Okay. You can't show yourself because you're not wearing a shirt. And I think that's why, another thing, it's hard to post this video, because it is so personal, and I don't know who's gonna watch it. Yeah, it's just personal. It's a personal topic. But I think I need to talk about it, because divorce happens so much. It happens so much that it's almost not a big deal anymore, when it really is a big deal, and it is a sad thing, and it was never in God's plan. I'm going to share one more verse.
Hi.
Okay, Eli, gotta sit back. And this is what Jesus says. You have to be quiet, Eli.
Hey.
This is what Jesus says about divorce. He says, I think he's talking to the Pharisees, and they're asking if it's lawful for a man to divorce his wife for just any reason. And I wanted to start on verse 6, when it says, so then they are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let not man separate. So yeah, that just goes to show, that Bible verse, that God does not like divorce. He hates it. It is not a part of his plan, and he doesn't want it to happen. But what Satan intends for evil, God will turn around and make it into something good for those who love him and who are called according to his purposes. And I know that a lot of things in my life are very different now, especially when it comes to birthdays, to holidays, to just family gatherings, to family dinners. It's just a lot of different things happen. But I am really grateful for the new family I have with my parents' new relationships. And I think I've been praying for boldness for God to allow me to speak truth, for him to open doors for Caleb and I to speak truth into the people around us, and yeah, just to have boldness to be able to speak truth and not to be afraid of judgment, to be afraid of being rejected, but to speak it out of love, that we are no better than anybody, but that we are all sinners, we all fall short of the glory of God, and that anyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. So yeah, I thank you for watching. I feel like that sounds weird, but I thank you for watching this video. I know that this is such a heavy topic. It's hard to talk about. I think it should be talked about more, that, you know, it's not okay. Divorce is not okay. And I hope you got some encouragement out of this video and that it didn't make you sad, because I don't know where you're at in your life. You know, you could have struggled with divorce. Your parents could have gotten divorced. You could have been in a divorce yourself. But wherever you are at in life, just know that you can call on Jesus and be saved. You can have a relationship with God, and that is the point of this video. The point of this video is that Jesus is there. You just have to call on his name and be saved and believe that he is the Son of God, that he died on the cross for our sins, that he was buried and he rose again in 3 days, and now he sits at the right hand of the Father waiting to get his church. So, yeah, just let me know if you got anything out of this video in the comments below. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Okay, bye. You want to say bye, Eli?
Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's turn it off.